I'm Kai, and I'm here with
Ivy Lee,
Mason,
Jacob,
Kevin Wiles,
PJ Huang,
Nakia Williams,
Miss Reichert, Sarah Fromholt,
Jatayla,
Theafina.
What's your sustained investigation about?
just like shiny things that look real, like abstract art, just like all like that area.
And what inspired you to dive into that sustained investigation?
I've always struggled with doing like shiny stuff and making things actually look real, and at the same time I love abstract art, so that's like, you know.
Like you wanted to combine the two?
Yeah, it's like in that area.
That's cool, like you wanted to keep challenging yourself through art, like not like to keep yourself, you didn't want to keep yourself comfortable, like you wanted to keep pushing yourself. That's how you become a greater artist. So, since you are kind of like an untraditional art student where you kind of like skip some levels of art, so what's this like being your first art show instead of this being your last? Well, it's your first and last art show, so what's that general experience like?
I don't know. I think it's really, really cool. There's a lot of really good pieces out. It's just a really cool experience.
Well, yeah, I'd have to say the same. And like personally, like people coming up to me and saying like, wow, like your stuff is really creative, like that's really empowering, right?
Yeah, that feels good.
All right. Thanks for talking with me, Mason.
Thank you for having me.
Jacob, what's your sustained investigation about?
My sustained investigation is, well, supposed to be based on different landscapes and places around the world.
Which location inspires you the most in terms of locations?
Japan.
Why is that Japan?
Well, when I picture a city, the first thing that comes to mind is Japan's. Can we start over? I messed up.
Yeah, you can start over.
Okay. What? I just like Japan's colors at night. Have you when you see a Japanese city at night? It gives me a warm, fuzzy feeling that I don't get anywhere else.
And you want to try to like recreate that with your artwork?
More or less so.
That's awesome. So.
Also, vaporwave aesthetics really help a lot with it.
And like in the music as well?
Yes.
Yeah, I can kind of see that, especially with these more abstract architectural pieces, just like the overall like blend of colors, like it's like in your face and you kind of just feel inside your bones. Not the best way to describe it, but I mean, I love colorful stuff and I think you did a good job.
Thank you.
So, what has your experience been like walking around the art show?
People can draw a lot better than me. God bless, there's a lot of good things here.
There are a lot of skilled artists, but I would say that you're really skilled too. Don't downplay yourself. You're a great artist. I know you'll do great things in the future.
Thanks.
Do you have any other final words?
Vote me for prom king. Other than that, I got nothing else. Don't do nothing stupid. Let me sleep. There.
You heard Jacob. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Kevin, what's your sustained investigation about?
So the main focus of my sustained investigation was architecture. I'm going to college to study civil engineering, and civil engineers need to know a lot about architecture and stuff like that for like that major in going into the workforce and stuff. So I wanted to focus on that so I could like learn a little bit more about like how buildings are created and like some of the styles. And at one point I looked back. I did a project on like how architecture evolved throughout the years, and that was really interesting to see like how it started off and like how modern architecture is today.
So, like architecture, like spiked your interests, like earlier on in school, and like maybe not like super early on, but like a few years ago, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I knew since I was little playing with Legos that I wanted to do something with like building and architecture and engineering like that, and so I thought it was appropriate to do my sustained investigation on that.
Yeah, I think it's a really good idea, and I really like how creative some of your pieces have turned out, especially like the Starry Night one,
Yeah.
and your artist project, because it like combines like this flat like building with like really like in your face graffiti. Like
Yeah.
it's a nice combination.
Yeah, well, thank you.
So Ivy, what has inspired this cat painting you have right here?
So my cat is like my best friend ever. She's been with me through like everything, and we were doing a realistic painting, so I decided I would try to do her.
Yeah, I mean, like, I can really see like all of the like little shadows and like all of like the spots. Like, I have a lot of cats who just kind of like chill around my house. So, and I've seen a lot of different like patterned cats. So it's cool to like see that through a painting. Don't you have like just a ton of cats?
I do have a ton of cats, and I love them all equally, but she is probably like my favorite one.
What's her name?
Her name is Tekka, named after Little Tekka the rapper.
Do you think for next year you might do a combination portrait, one half Tekka, one half Lil Tekka?
That's a good idea. Maybe I should do that. That's a good idea.
Hey, are you going to AP Art?
I am going to AP Art.
Do you have any ideas for your sustained investigation?
I had an idea of doing like an overall concept of going like between peace and chaos, and just like incorporating that into different paintings so that I kind of have a wide range of what kind of art I can do in there.
Yeah, that can be applied to a lot. It's like especially recently with like all of like protest movements and like just like general world issues going on. So I think you could take that very far, and I hope you do well next year in APR.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Ivy. All right, hey, I'm Kai, and I'm here with.
PJ Huang.
So PJ, what inspired this pan motion photo here?
So when I was doing the panel motion photo, I wanted to make it like with one person and like having a conversation, and then two other person was trying to figure out what they were talking about.
So it's kind of like you're setting up a scene for something to happen.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Did you have like any ideas for like what would happen after that, or?
So if you can, so these two persons are having a conversation, and this guy, he wanted to join in, so he wanted to grab a seat, and then this guy who's standing next to the toilet, he's trying to hear what they're saying. So I was hoping the next scene is all four of these guys would join in and have a conversation. Yeah.
Like they'd all, well, are they already all friends, or are they just kind of like?
No, they're all, they don't know each other. Yeah.
Oh, so, soon to be friends then.
Yeah, soon to be friends.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I really like it. It kind of like has this like developing a story feel, but with one character, which is really interesting.
Yeah.
So, since this has been your only year at Piqua, like, and this is your first and last art show here, what has that experience been like?
Oh, I don't know. I feel like I've never considered myself a good artist, so I've just been really proud of myself to come up with this idea. Yeah.
Yeah, it's always good to push yourself creatively and know that you don't have to stay stagnant in your ideas. You can always push forward, and I feel like you definitely did that with this piece and other pieces you have in here. What's your favorite, well, is this your favorite piece that you have here?
Yes, this is my favorite one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite piece like that you've seen around here in general?
Yeah, there's actually, oh, it's one right there.
Is it the Spider-Man one?
Spider-Man with the samurai, because I'm a big Spider-Man fan.
Oh, did you see Spider-Man Homecoming?
Yes. No, Homecoming, No Way Home.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you're good.
No Way Home.
Yeah.
I still haven't seen it, man. I gotta find what.
It's really good. Yeah.
I love, like, I've been getting back into superhero movies, so I gotta check it out.
Yeah, strongly recommend it. Yeah.
10 out of 10?
11 out of 10.
11 out of 10. All right. Hey, I'm Kai, and I'm here with
Nakia Williams.
So Nakia, what has your focus of art been this year?
Just getting better with my markers especially, and just learning and watching more videos about it, and including animation has been really interesting to look into.
Like to try to like experiment and like Adobe Animate and stuff like that?
Yeah. Mostly Illustrator and Premiere Pro.
That's awesome. So, what's your favorite piece that you have here?
My favorite piece would probably be my samurai piece, which is a blue character and a red character fighting each other with each other's shoes on. And then probably this guy who is squatting down with a baseball bat behind him where there's a light coming in. I really like the kind of
Okay.
like the
Is it the realism?
no, not realism. What would you call that? Kind of what would you call that? Kind of fighting style, I guess. Kind of the almost
The posture?
kind of the posture. Just fighting in general area, like intensity, I guess.
Yeah, kind of like when like you were watching like a fight scene in like a movie or an anime, like just that kind of like feeling of intensity you get.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's like what inspired those pieces.
Indeed. Indubitably.
So, what has your experience been like face painting at the art show and just volunteering in general?
It's been pretty interesting, pretty different than what I expected, especially the face painting. I don't really know kids very often, so it was very interesting seeing their reactions, different than what I expected. And setting up was pretty nice, getting to know the teachers and kind of what they're about and their life.
Wait, so did you set up with some of like the elementary art teachers then?
Yes, yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's cool to like kind of build some connection to some teachers that you wouldn't like otherwise know.
Yeah.
Do you have any other words about the art show?
It's amazing. Definitely awesome to see everything kind of like progress, especially how different everybody is with their works.
Yeah, for sure. So, should everybody come next year to see your table for your AP art portfolio?
I would like to. Yeah, for sure. Get my name out there.
You heard her. Come out. All right, thank you, Nakia.
Yep, bye.
Hey, I'm Kai, and I'm here with
Miss Reichert.
So, Miss Riker, what was the experience of making designs for the Light the Night coloring book like?
So we were working with the service learning class with Miss Downs and Mr. Fashner's AP Art kids. So it was a process. We started out coming up with the concept. It was Miss Downs Service Learning. They put a lot of effort into organizing it, and then our curriculum developer, Mr. Blooms, he had a large help in getting like the coloring books and the brochures, the money accounted for. We had a lot of design, like as the publishing stage of it, we had a deadline that had to be met, and so we had like 2 weeks in class once we got the designs. I think it was a total of like a 3-month project. So there was over 100 kids who were part of this Light the Night, and then there was coloring books that we got printed with the brochures, and so the kids that came out could bring them much like last year, and then the story concept, we kept the same characters and added more, and all around Piqua, like the story all surrounds Piqua. So it was really neat. It was tedious. We actually learned, and these are like some of the stations of the 12 locations that our kids came up with, and those are in the brochures. So there was a map that actually, with the timeline being so quick, the Photoshop students that I had, we put them on the brochure too, so they learned the Illustrator aspect. And we found a glitch in Illustrator where the outline of a shape, it's called the stroke, and then when you downsize it, it's supposed to be a scalable vector graphic, so it's supposed to scale at any size and not lose any kind of quality. But the stroke, the outline of the shape, it actually is not proportionally, does not scale at the same ratio. So that was quite interesting. So some of the images that we scaled to like a 8.5 by 11, when we made them for the brochure, they were 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch. And so the design kids did like every single brick, and it's quite wonderful while they were working, but you know, there's a lot more work in it than what we found displayed for the larger sizes. Definitely a learning curve, and very neat to get to work with the other teachers, and that there's so many people in the administration and other teachers that just care about not only the kids but the community.
Yeah, I think it's definitely good for students, like high school students in particular, to have that experience and experiencing difficulties like that, because like in the real design world, like that type of stuff comes up all the time, and you gotta like be able to like use your resources, whether that's the internet or a mentor like you, or just to be able to use some critical thinking skills to figure it out. And having some of that real world experience of like, all right, we have a due date, we have this purpose, we have this aspect of collaboration, like that's a really great experience for our students.
Well, thank you, Kai. Great to have kids like you guys, and I'm glad that we could do that. It was tedious, but that's what we're about, the real world experience while we're in school.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's no problem, and thanks for talking with me.
Of course, anytime.
Oh, we're doing an interview. Okay, sure.
Well, it's more like it's not that formal. It's more like just a conversation.
Okay.
So don't feel like you have to like
You'll
talk
chop
at your
out all the dumb
highest
parts. Okay.
like form of language. Like
Okay.
it's okay. All right. Hey, I'm Kai, and I'm here with
Sarah Fromholt.
So, Mrs. Fromholt, what has this experience of making this character development mural been like over the last year?
It was overwhelming and exciting, and it's been a lot of time. The kids were really excited all year long, and I was glad to have it done.
So, for students here at PCIS, did they actually get to like get involved in painting this or making any of the like the contours of their faces, or?
The student body voted. We have a leadership program called LEAD, and they decided what people, their international, national, and local people of character, and the whole student body voted on who they chose. So I had no say over who's on here, but I think they did a great job.
So like all 4th, 5th, and 6th graders at that time?
Yes, correct.
A little bit of the democratic process before, 18. That's really cool. I'm sorry. Who's like one of your favorite people here that is on this mural, and how have they inspired you?
The Mills brothers. I was really surprised to learn about them. I have Sirius radio in my car, so I get some like 40 stations, and every once in a while I see Mills brothers come up, and I told my family about it, and they said, "Oh yeah, your grandpa used to love the Mills brothers." I'm like, "Oh, okay." I just didn't know some of the historic people from Piqua. It's really interesting to find out about.
Yeah, and like, in my opinion, like colorful portraits, it's like a portrait, it's like evolutionary, like in an evolutionary sense, it's just like seeing a human face, like that can like bring some sense of like happiness or motivation, but with color it just has this whole different meaning. And having that deep root like here in Piqua for the Mills brothers, like I'm sure these students will be like, oh my gosh, like maybe I am ready for school at 8 a.m. looking at these murals.
Yeah, we also separated them. I did all different colors on the left side, and then as you work down we get to William Pitzenbarger, and it starts going into blues and reds. So that's our Piqua people. So it's we just tried to mesh it together so that the kids could kind of figure it out.
Yeah, I think that's a really good idea. I know a little bit about the collaboration with the high school in terms of this, but do you want to elaborate a little bit on that?
So at the beginning of the year when we started on the mural, I thought, oh, it would be just so cool if we could have QR codes on the wall. And last year we saw the Women's Month videos that Mr. Skeen's media classes made. And I thought, oh, I'm going to ask him. So I asked him, and he said they worked all year long on them, and we just got them done like within the last week. And the plaques went up on the wall yesterday. So I'm really proud of all of the high schoolers who worked on that.
Yeah, that's perfect timing for the art show.
Yes, we were very fortunate.
I worked on the video for William Moore McCulloch, and that sure was like, I mean, even just like a 2-minute like short documentary, like that takes a certain amount of skill, and it's good to realize that art doesn't just stop at painting, but it also comes in the form of video and all different types of media.
Thank you very much for doing that. Now our kids will know who these faces are, and that'll be up there for years. So thank you very much.
It's no problem. All right. Hey, I'm Kai, and I'm here with
Theophina.
Christina. So you made a turtle, right?
Mm-hmm.
What was the process of that like? What was your favorite part about making that turtle?
I liked making the feet because it was like really pinching. You had like pinch it, like a certain.
Your fingers.
And like, I just liked making the shell because you had to make designs on it, and like it was like crafting clay to make me use it. And I was taking my time, not rushing at my school. It was really difficult, but I got through it, and it was hard, but I got through it. It was good.
That's awesome, and yeah, getting to make your own little designs, like it's really liberating just to like go, like do whatever you want, like let your mind come out into a little sculpture, and I think you did a good job. So, thank you, Christina, for talking with me.
You're welcome.
A little bit. But. Hey, I'm Kai, and I'm here with
Jatayla.
Jatayla, what was the process of recreating this classic painting into your own style and your own character like?
Well, I wanted to like have it more modernized with outfits, so I had it more, you know, how we dress now than how they would. Yeah. And I wanted to be more interpretive with just showing how they don't have much of Black culture and how we can. So I wanted to show more of that.
Yeah, to like represent like more Black people, because like an art that was shied away from like years ago, even now, like, so it's good to have that representation.
That's really, I just wanted to do that.
What was it like having this oh my gosh, I have to restart. What was this like having this portrait being chosen to be shown at the Hainer Art Exhibit?
It felt really good for my first time, you know?
Yeah.
Just to have someone like my art.
Did you get like any comments while you were there? Like, did anybody say anything to you?
Yeah, someone else who was in the competition, they were like, you know, you should probably go to college for it. You did really good. I'm like, oh, thank you.
That's awesome. Like, where do you want to go to college for? Like art or like animation or graphic design, or like, is there like a specific field you'd like to go into?
I would preferably like to go into animation, but I'm also thinking about illustration and stuff like that. But yeah, I would like to go to college for that.
That would be really cool, and there's a lot of resources that, of course, you know, like Fashner has and Mr. Skeens has with all of like the computers and the programs we have here. So I think you could really excel even before you get to college, and then just go up to like massive heights.
Yeah, I would like to. Thank you.
It's no problem. Well, thank you for talking with me, Jatayla.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me.